All right, we're gonna play a little game today, folks. We're gonna play Is It Racism?
Dun, dun,
So
dun, dun.
I've been traveling and perusing around the internet a little bit over the past couple of weeks, couple of days, and I found some stories. And this first story is what made me think about the topic. So I'm gonna let you guys see it. I'm gonna let Casey see it, and then we're gonna talk about it after we watch the video to see if it is racism or if we think it's a racist event. So without further ado, let's begin with the first one.
That I was about to have an appraisal, so I took down all the black art in my house. I also took down anything that showed that I was black, like albums or even baby pictures of my kid.
Had to meet Jude Bernard, who's going to be sitting in for me today.
I'm going to be claiming I'm your representative.
A representative.
Yes.
Exactly. So, this is what we got to do. Got my appraisal. I'm about to leave the house. And let a representative show the space so that I am properly compensated. It's the game.
Although the appraiser looked like a cool and a down-to-earth kind of guy, I've been shorted before and I didn't want to take any chances. So this is why I went through these lengths. Last January, my house appraised for $4.4 million without being de-blackified. My new appraisal came back at $4.9 million, $500,000 more than just a year and a half ago. Did my house appreciate $500,000 or did I get $500,000 for de-blackifying?
All right, man. So what do you think? You think it's racism?
I wouldn't necessarily say racism. Is there some prejudice there? Fuck yeah. You know what I'm saying? We're American citizens and everything like that. We should be getting our houses appraised just like anybody fucking else. You shouldn't have to go to those fucking lengths to get the highest amount that you could possibly fucking get. And it's ridiculous that this brother had to even remove the pictures of his fucking kids to actually sell his motherfucking house, man. This shit is just ridiculous to me. But as far as it being actually some racist shit, no, I don't think so.
Okay. So for me, I think he would have got that appraisal if he just would have removed the booty base. So when you look at the video, there's the booty face in there. So that's probably what did it. So me, I'm gonna take a different approach. So I think the concept, there's racism involved with this concept, but I think in this particular case that this gentleman is talking about is not racism. And the reason why I say that, now when I watched the whole video, I was gonna stop it, but I thought it was important to play the whole thing because when you get to the end, you start talking about the numbers. It's like I don't know, because one, it went up $500,000 in a year. So that's about a little over 10, I think almost 12%, if I remember right. So 12% in a year on a house is possible. I mean, my house has gone up 100% since I've owned it. And I mean, that is what, and then that's conservative. That's without even trying hard. So I don't think that, I mean, had he said it was like 30 days or 2 weeks or something, I would be more inclined to be like, all right, yeah. But $4.5 million house going to 4.9 in a year, that's not too difficult, I don't think. So I think, I don't know, this one was a little misleading to me, and I'm not going to quite call racism on this one, but I'm going to call the concept racist because I know my in-laws, they de-blackified their house when they were selling it too. So, and I know it does happen. And there's been some lawsuits that have been won for that reason. So,
as there should have been.
Yeah. All right, man, let's go on to the next one.
Let's get it. I got a feeling you about to start diving deeper and deeper into this fucking hole.
What if Batman was black?
What if Batman was black? You know, black billionaire with us. They would figure out who this nigga was immediately. Like, where does this nigga get all this money for suits and cars and shit?
So that's really all we need to see on that one. I'm not gonna make them all serious because the world is too serious. So, Batman black. Do you think it could happen? How do you think it would be?
Exactly like that, man. For one, he's not gonna be working with the goddamn commissioner. You got this black man in all black flipping and kicking and shit with all this fucking money. that could be a song. Hey, MLB Nord, you got your new one. But no, it'll go just like fucking that. If Batman was a black man, it would go just like that. Like like he said, where the fuck is he getting all this money, all these cars from? Let's investigate him further. He would have fucking been shown to be Batman a fucking long time ago, he wouldn't have made it.
See, another reason why I don't think it could work is because, old money. Batman comes from old money.
Yeah,
Old money.
That's a damn good point.
And that part would be difficult to have old money for that long and that being the issue. And, if he lost his parents like he did in the story, them not trying to fuck him over for all that money.
Yep.
Once. So, unless they had a bomb ass legal team set up. So, they had some Johnny Cochran and shit on retainer. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Let's see. Let's go
on to the next one. I like this game.
Like, black people have taken a lot of ginger characters. Superman's best friend is now black.
JJ, get your man.
The Little Mermaid.
Get your man.
The Little Mermaid is now black. Starfire is a ginger. Not anymore.
We did take Star. Damn it, you right.
As far as DC's concerned, he is right. We know the formula, DC. We see what
Wally West also.
You got that right. He's right. What the man?
All right. So, do you think that's intentional, or why it's got to be all the gingers, man, that they got to make them black? Because I noticed that, and then I saw this video. I was like, I ain't the only one.
Because people consider gingers minorities too. just simply put, if you look at like statistic wise or whatever, the percentage of gingers and stuff like that, they're considered minorities too. So those would be the easiest for these motherfuckers to change without a Caucasian uproar, if you will.
Oh shit, there was an uproar for every one of those characters.
Which of course it was. Of course it was. But I
pissed off.
But that's probably their mindset, like, okay, it's a ginger, so we can just change it. Now, if it's blonde, blue eyes, then yeah, we're gonna have a fight, so we're not gonna fuck with that. But gingers, or some of the Caucasian community contribute gingers to being on the same level as fucking black people in a lot of fucking cases, because they treat gingers a hell of a lot different. And I know that because I got a couple of friends that are gingers or whatever, and they tell me the same type of shit, man. They people treat them just as fucked up as they would treat a fucking black person sometimes. So I think,
heard that.
Yeah, sometimes.
Only thing I hear in relation to gingers is going back to our previous topic. People in Mississippi might be mad because they can't find their favorite ginger. All I've heard about is it being the fetish. So, but I thought it was interesting that it just so happened to be those characters. But
yeah, but that's what I think, because they consider gingers kind of like the minority. They'll be easier to change without a potential uproar. But of course, there was a fucking huge ass fucking uproar, especially with Little Mermaid was concerned. Haven't watched it yet. Heard it's really good though. Yeah,
Simone and Kim watched it. Yeah, see, there was an uproar for a lot of them. What is it? There was an uproar for Starfire for the Teen Titans live action. I remember that. They was pissed off about that. I hadn't decided if I'm gonna watch it yet. Wally West, they were mad. Superman's homeboy, they was mad. All of them. I mean, there was people pissed off about all of them. So this one's a little bit different, and I'm gonna frame this one a little bit different.
Only paying for what's on the check. I'm not splitting the bill, Shawty. That's crazy. You expect us to split the bill?
You got lamb chop. You got steak.
Look at all that. Look at what all they got. They talking about splitting the bill. What did you come out for? What did you come out for?
We come together.
I'm serious. My thing is, y'all doing too much. Y'all doing way too much. We didn't order all that. When I'm only paying for what's on the check, I'm not splitting the.
All right, so this isn't technically a racist issue, but I was gonna say, do you think that this could be seen by a racist and be seen as like, I ain't expecting nothing different? And then two, do you think he was wrong for arguing about the bill?
First, yeah, exactly. They'll look at that like, all these Negroes together, and they order all this shit. Now they're arguing on how to pay it. They ain't had no business.
I hear Uncle Ruckus.
They ain't had no business being in here any damn way. What the hell they doing in here? I could definitely fucking see that. Now, as far as if was he wrong, I would say yes, but I would say no. Yes, he was wrong because you know what your bank account is looking at before you decide to go on these excursions with your fucking people, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't be, we're gonna turn up, and then you ain't got no bread to fucking put in. We had the same fucking incident at a bachelor party. I'm sure you fucking remember, motherfuckers. We gonna turn up, and then you ain't got no goddamn money to turn up, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta live your fucking truth. But at the same time, I would say no, because they came in there with the intention saying, okay, my bank account is like this, but these motherfuckers are ordering lobster and all this other fucking shit. I'm not helping pay for this shit when I just ordered fucking appetizers, because that's all the fuck I could afford was fucking appetizers. And honestly, if you're there for a birthday party or whatever, you're there for the fellowship and the good time of it. Y'all should know what your bank accounts is looking like before you decide to do all this shit. You can't go into that shit assuming, yeah, it's gonna be 10 of us. I could order this shit. This shit gonna be split up and down the fucking middle. No, bro's not fucking wrong for fucking snapping. And he was like, well, what you come out for? He came out to have a good time with his motherfucking people. That don't mean y'all gotta order all this fucking expensive shit. And just because it's a lot of y'all think this shit's gonna be split down the middle and fucking paid for. And it also goes back to the first question you asked, and that's that stereotype. Like we in this bitch living outside our motherfucking means. Like it's embarrassing for all parties.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. Only thing I'll say is, I mean, thinking about when we go to birthday parties and shit, like if I go with Kim and it's a big group of us, I mean, or even when Kim and I were dating, I mean, we're married now, so it doesn't really matter. Bill's gonna be covered regardless. But when we're dating, I'm gonna cover my wife's food or my girlfriend at the time. Or, you know, people might be like, we gonna put in and cover the birthday person's food. And everybody else pay for their own shit. I mean, it's not that hard to do that. Or one person gets it. I mean, especially now in the days of Cash App and Zelle and all that shit.
I pay everybody Cash at me. They part.
Yeah. Now because I think if I remember, the bill was like ridiculous. It was like $4,600 or something.
God damn.
When they looked at it some more, because people was ordering like appetizers, drinks.
You see what I'm saying? That type of shit.
I mean, so I mean, I think if the birthday person turned up like that, and you split their bill, and like let's say their bill was $400 because they turned up. Okay, that's fine. That's the birthday person. Let that happen. But to just split the bill all the way down the middle, hell no. Hell no. Get this shit together, and y'all discuss that shit before y'all get there.
That's
know
what
your
I was
people,
just about to say.
So you don't have these kind of arguments in person.
Yep. Go ahead and say, hey man, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. What your shit looking like? What your shit looking like? Oh, you sure? I got you. You know what I'm saying? They gotta have those conversations. Y'all can't just go in this bitch. Oh, we flexing, turn up. In your pocket.
I tell you that event, that situation you were talking about, the motherfuckers didn't talk about that shit beforehand either. So there's that.
Nope. It was just, we're gonna have a good time. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do this. And shit, man, you was was paying for every goddamn thing around there. Like you, even on the fucking female side, man, they had to put in on certain fucking females to get into the motherfucking spot. Right? Y'all gotta have these conversations. That's really what it boils down to. Have this conversation before y'all decide, all right, we're gonna turn up. You can't be like, shit, it's whatever. I got it. It's whatever. I got it. I'll just be late on the fucking rent payment or some shit like that. Come on, my people.
So this one, I'll play this one real quick.
My wife did that. Go to make a video with him. Hey, you gotta swear for him. Make your queen want some more, nigga.
So in this one, they said ended racism with this one. I'm gonna call bullshit on that, and I'm gonna tell you why. It seems like a feel good thing, but to me, what it feels like is it's like one of those almost on the same energy of like fetishization of black people. Like, oh, we got this black guy with his music up, his old school convertible. I want to get in this, but for the views or whatever. Look at me, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's trying to leech on culture for that one. So it's like it's that racism you don't expect, I think, or those racial undertones that you don't expect. Like the guy might not necessarily be a racist, but I see that there's a negative connotation to that a little bit too. It did not end racism at all.
Now, as far as ending racism, yeah, that's far-fetched as fuck. And your point was a very fucking valid point. I didn't even think about that. I absolutely agree with what you're saying. What I'm gonna add to it is yeah, it's not gonna end racism. Yeah, it's probably could be like a fetish type thing, but the perception of it, like, it is a good thing, showing that, you know what I'm saying, all white people ain't like this, all black people ain't like this. It's the perception of it that'll, you know what I'm saying, kind of say, all right, they ain't that bad. Let's fucking bring it to fucking together. But I get it. It's kind of like, you know what I'm saying? It's, yeah, look at me. I'm doing what black people do. I'm a cool guy.
hanging with the Negroes.
Yeah, most definitely. I get it.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? A lot of people outside of that will see it and be like, all right, man, white people really ain't that bad. Let me go find me a little white friend or something like that. So in racism, no. But could it give perception and blend the cultures and create an understanding? I think it could.
So all right, so this one, I don't know if this was a video, but this actor was wrongly tased after reporting a burglary in his house. So without reading the story and going into all detail, basically somebody broke in his house. He called the police. When they came, he instantly became there was an issue and he became a suspect. And I think with this one, I'll get your thoughts first before I get my thoughts.
No,
So basically, police came to the house and they tased him, and it was his house, and he was
like David Chappelle. This nigga knows to live here. Sprinkle some crack on Johnson. Let's get out of here. Yeah. That type of fucking thing. It is fucking ridiculous, man. Because it's like these motherfuckers feel like we can't have shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you automatically the perpetrator. You're automatically the aggressor. You're automatically the negative person in this type of fucking situation, man. And it's fucking ridiculous that it happens so fucking much that, you know, David Chappelle made a joke about the shit years ago. I think it was the Killing
almost 20 years ago.
Yeah. But and yeah, almost 20 years ago, and it's still shit. It's still type of shit. It's still fucking happening. And y'all want melanin people to not fear the police, to be able to depend on the police. But we do the right thing, and we call when something fucking happens, and we're victimized because we call because some shit happened to fucking us. Yeah, it's just straight and utter fucking bullshit. I hope them punk motherfuckers is fucking fired and all the other shit. You know what I'm saying? Take their motherfucking pension. And we've been talking about this shit for fucking ever. Just cops, period, with brutality and shit like that. Hit them motherfuckers in their goddamn pockets. They're gonna stop their bullshit then, man. It's just fucking ridiculous. What, you jealous because his brother got a nice ass motherfucking house? So you assume that he's the motherfucking perpetrator? When you call 911, they tell you to describe the fucking person. I had to call 911 in Augusta because handicapped person was walking down the street tripping fucking balls on my fucking way to work. They had me describe the fucking person. And I'm pretty sure if this dude is got burglarized or whatever, and he got a look at the perp or whatever, he's gonna be able to describe him. Also, he's not gonna open the fucking door for the police if he breaking into somebody's shit. I mean, come on, you gotta use common sense and context clues. These motherfuckers just said, "Oh, it's a nigger, get him," and that was fucking it, man. It's fucking ridiculous.
So I agree with you, and I look at it two different ways. So the first way is if they were racist and was like, "Oh, we just gonna get him because we see him." There's that, but then there's also that bias is like you assume that this is the perpetrator because of what he looks like, right. And then also, I mean, the other thing to that is, I mean, you know, what we're taught in firearm safety is when you call, you give as much information as you can without, you know, there's been a shooting. I'm the homeowner. I look like this. Yada. Yep. You know, make sure the weapon's not in your hand. I mean, there's a lot of things you have to do to prepare for that situation and diffuse that situation. So, I mean, there's that piece too, and the fact that they have that bias going in that they may have just assumed based on that split-second decision, and those split-second decisions are based on bias a lot of times. So,
yeah, and then looking at him, the way he talked, the way he sounds, he probably, you know, he articulated properly, so they probably automatically assume this was a Caucasian man calling us, probably. He wasn't, yeah, man, these motherfuckers, like a lot of our people do fucking talk. He probably was articulating, and they assumed that this was the white guy calling, so they pulled up, and, you know, this was the fucking result of the bullshit.
I think that's the last one I have, so let's go back to the main, and we'll talk about the last one. So the last one we talked about it a little bit between you and I, Florida, damn Florida. And the one I want to talk about in particular is them trying to reframe what slavery was. And like, it was real big this week, and I think last week, where they were trying to make the argument that slavery really wasn't as bad as people tried to make it seem. I guarantee that a lot of the slaves got skills that they would have, you know, that they were able to use and earn a wage after slavery. Bullshit. And to try to do that is racist as fuck at the highest level. I mean, that's the crazy shit to me, man. It's like, how are you gonna really try to do that, man? So what do you think about it? You were talking about Florida, so man, what do you think?
That's other bullshit. Learn skills and all that type of bullshit before these motherfuckers took us from Africa. Goddamn it, we had skills already. We was fucking crushing shit already.
So I kind of lobbed it up for you to make that point. Good job.
Goddamn it, civilization fucking started in goddamn Africa. We learned skills, man. Fuck you, y'all motherfuckers ain't had no goddamn skills and shit like that. That's why y'all had us fucking doing this shit, you punk motherfuckers. Fuck
I mean,
y'all.
there is so much shit that wouldn't have happened if we didn't bring our ancestors didn't bring them skills over here. So yes, damn right.
Africa would have been the superpower right now. Our ancestors had fucking everything fucking popping. Y'all saw that we had shit popping and wanted a piece of that shit. A lot of these fucking slave owners and shit that came over and got their motherfucking pieces of land went shit with some rapists and fucking thieves and shit in the first fucking place and fled their goddamn country to bring their punk asses the fuck over here. Fuck them, goddamn it. And to say, oh, it wasn't that bad, bitch. Florida in particular, they was feeding fucking babies to fucking alligators if they had some. They was fucking deformed. They was fucking castrating brothers just for the fucking fun of it, man. Get the fuck out of here, man.
And more. And I mean, I think that's the problem is if you. So right now we can still counteract that narrative, but what I worry about is 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago, where they're trying to minimize the severity of it, and that's the shit that's not talked about. And it doesn't mean that you're trying to like dwell on it and use it as an excuse or a crutch to not be successful and no shit like that. No, you got to know your history, and you got to know that shit wasn't all sun rainbows and they weren't basically indentured servants or no shit like that. So don't even try to don't try to reframe the shit like, oh, it really wasn't that bad. They were just overhanging. And if I remember right, I think I remember reading somewhere that some of the shit that they learned in Europe during the Nazi time, they learned from some of the shit they were doing to black people over here. I think I remember reading that from somewhere.
That's what they did to the Jews in those concentration camps and shit.
Yeah, I think that's what they picked up game from there and just borrowed it and just just repeated what they learned. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, again, so y'all watch out for that shit, man. Like, teach your kids, teach your friends' kids, everybody's kids, all that shit, man. Just
and don't let nobody fucking say, oh, that shit happened X amount of years ago. You should fucking forget it. They do this shit every fucking year. They put remember 9/11 every fucking year. We're not supposed to forget fucking 9/11. Hell no, you ain't supposed to forget fucking slavery either. Us that's still walking and talking and breathing right now, we're the result of our ancestors who fucking survived or fucking escaped around that bitch, man. So don't sit up there and tell us to forget this. Oh, slavery wasn't that bad. Let's switch roles for a fucking week and see how y'all motherfuckers like that shit. There's actually a dude that he does these like comedy type skit shit.
Oh, I know something about
and he dressed up as a slavery to a civil rights little reenactment shit. Boy, they had a big old motherfucking stink. Well, we're not reenacting that part of fucking history. Why the fuck not? Let that shit come
call it straight, man.
Like, yeah, exactly. And I'm not saying white people should bow down. Like, you see in some of the videos that you got all these white people,
like the white people washing black people's feet. That's just so dumb.
Yeah, you ain't got to do all that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Just acknowledge the fucking shit as history, like it fucking was. Just like in the Revolutionary War, y'all depict the British as these fucking ruthless ass fucking tyrannic fucking rulers and all this other fucking shit. Do the same shit. Just keep the fucking energy to goddamn thing. That's it. Because it's part of history.
Yeah.
And it's not black people history. It's our history. It's American history. The shit fucking happened. Most of this shit on this fucking in this country would not have been built, would have not been created, would have not even been fucking thought of if our ancestors wasn't taken from Africa and brought over here to do this to perform fucking slavery. The ones that made it to the fucking states. So get the fuck out of here, man. You had motherfuckers jumping off the ship instead of goddamn coming over here to be fucking slave. I'd rather fucking die.
The craziest story is like when you start learning about like black pirates and shit. That's some wild shit. Like out in the South Carolina area and shit. Yeah. That shit is crazy. Yeah. So I mean,
I've been looking for one to talk about.
I give you some. I think I got a couple. But yeah, once you start learning about like that history, like those are things that you don't know. That's just like fascinating. And it's not that you look at it from like I'm gonna teach you this history so you can hate all white people. That's just stupid. It's you learn the history so you don't repeat the same mistakes. That's it.
Like Black History Month here for Keontae last year. They didn't even teach nothing Black history, bro. They focused on the Revolutionary War. So you know what I did? I supplemented that shit when my fucking son came home.
And
this was
you
this,
have to.
and that was this, and this
You
was
have
that.
to.
And I reiterate, you're not supposed to dislike white people, because after I told him, you know what I'm saying, the truth about a lot of this shit, he was kind of on the fence. But I was like, no, don't dislike them at all. That's just part of fucking history. The people that's living now, yeah, they didn't have nothing to do with it. True enough. But this is still fucking history that you need to fucking know. And it's a history that's not being spread. Prime example, Janeke, she's from Guam. Guam is the U.S. fucking territory. They knew nothing about racism and the intricacies of slavery and all that shit. They knew nothing about that shit, bro. She ain't know nothing how bad it was until she got here and actually saw it for herself and listened to everything I was fucking explaining. That shit should be fucking known every fucking where across the world. If motherfuckers can pop, lock, and drop it and fucking do fucking spin dances and rap in every fucking country around this goddamn world, they need to know about that bullshit too.
Right. And like you were saying to that point about, you know, you weren't there during the time, guaranteed that there's benefits to that shit that a lot of people benefit from. And that's what the reparation argument is. We talked about that before. It's not about the fact that, you know, oh, I wasn't there, so why should I be penalized for that? There's benefits and things that were afforded because of that, the backs of our ancestors, and you have to acknowledge that. You have to respect that. And you have to tell the truth about that. And I think that's what's missing.
Yeah, hell yeah. Fuck yeah, man. Hell, they're even, as far as reparations, and that's the last thing I got, man, they're even telling fucking states, if you're talking about fucking reparations, we're gonna pull federal funding from your motherfucking ass.
Yeah, that's a bill they tried to pass, but that's
like,
gamesmanship right there.
Yeah,
that's a whole different thing.
Fuck. But even to have that idea, that concept, to even put that fucking threat in the fucking atmosphere, that speaks fucking volumes to me as a melanin brother in this country, bro.
Sure, I'm with you on that. Because, and I know some of the states, I think Florida again is like doing like state funding to like certain like state funded institutions like libraries and schools and shit. So yeah.
Like Florida, when it's time to vote, get that motherfucker out of there, bro. I don't really care for voting and shit like that, but get that motherfucker out of there. Get him out of there.
Yes.
Let it be a melanin brother with fucking dreads and shit from fucking Haiti that fucking go up. I'll be a resident of Florida just to vote for that motherfucker, bro.
Put a Miami in that bad boy.
Yeah, get that. Hey, give me a fucking a Cuban or some shit, man. Like, get that motherfucker out of there. And they was talking about that shit too. He's all anti this and anti that, but this motherfucker's people ain't even from fucking America, bro.
That's a topic right there that we will not touch today, because that's a whole nother topic.
It is. I'm off my soapbox.
We'll talk about that.
I'm starting to sweat and shit over here, man. You got me goddamn heated around this bitch.
Right. But I mean that's one. So to end it off on the topic, there's still racist shit out here. Be mindful of it. Pay attention. It's not the end of the world. It's not going. I mean, it can impact your life. But do what you can. Stick together. Look out for your people. Do what you can, man.